A person's self-worth comes from a sense of personal power and self-reliance. But in order for the established systems, economic, educational, healthcare, industrial, political, etc., to work, the public has to be dependent. Empowered and self-reliant individuals are, by definition, difficult to manage. How to get rid of these obstacles to power? One of the best ways to diminish someone's self-worth, or self-esteem if you will, is to convince them of their weakness and helplessness. To make sure that the person is convinced, it is helpful to ridicule his or her attempts to prove otherwise. Who would do such a thing? Would you do it to me? No. Would I do that to you? Of course not. Neither one of us would gain anything. Those who stand to gain would. Ask yourself, who gains from your helplessness? And you'll become a great deal less helpless and fast. Who benefits from your helplessness? Here are a few examples. The financial industry, healthcare industry, the economy, the list is long. We are told over and over again that we can't live without a bank, auto mechanic, accountant, plumber, grocer, restaurant, doctor, car industry, pharmacy. This list is endless. Is it true? Not that long ago, people were resourceful and capable of addressing their needs and solving their problems without outside assistance. Our grandparents, or if you are very young, your great-grandparents, knew how to help themselves. Grandpa could fix anything around the house. Grandma didn't run to the doctor every time a kid had a cold or a flu. She'd cook chicken soup. She knew how to bake bread and make a birthday cake. She could even save money with her management of the grocery budget. Their generation was creative and daring enough to solve seemingly unsolvable problems. When the family car broke down and needed a new part that wasn't available on the market, the car owner would turn to the local blacksmith, who could and would forge the needed part by hand. Jefferson Smith said, "There is no such a thing as helplessness. It's just another word for giving up." It is true that we've gotten used to the convenience of reliance on multiple industries and that our skill set has considerably shrunk. But common sense should tell us that we are paying a very high price for this convenience. We have in effect become slaves to the system and getting increasingly more dependent on it. In a case of a major disaster or the system's malfunction, we may very well end up really helpless because we let our guard down and surrendered our self-reliance to convenience. We are acting as if we were weak and helpless and are being treated as such by many industries and professionals. Just watch how many TV commercials feature dumb consumers. My all-time favorite example of our presumed helplessness and stupidity is a garment label that states, "Remove the child from the shirt before washing." It's obviously meant as a safety warning, but it is also an assessment of our intelligence. We are being convinced that we are dumb, helpless, and passive in order for our manipulators to grow their power, profits, and control. They prey on our real or imagined weaknesses to make us receptive to their offers and agendas, Our self-confidence, creativity, etc. are pragmatically dismantled. Our sense of self-worth was conquered. We ourselves surrendered our self-reliance and independence to convenience. The deal's been struck. We readily agreed to be helpless and dependent on the system. We accepted our defeat. Since a defeat leaves a bitter aftertaste, the system wisely softened the blow. The stuff we own gives us a false sense of personal power. You can own a business. Reality check. Unless you start with a large investment and a strong support system, your business will either fail or struggle. You can own a car. Reality check. That's only after a few years of payments. Until then, the finance company, not you, owns it. You can own a house. Reality check. You are called a homeowner and become liable for property tax right after you get a mortgage loan. Reality check. You don't own a house. You own a long-term, high-interest mortgage loan. You can appear prosperous by using credit cards. Credit cards create an illusion of financial power. They allow you to flaunt your financial prowess in public. They allow you to buy almost anything you want. Of course, the public image and the purchased goods aren't really yours until you pay off your credit card balances. You can earn and have a stellar credit score, which supposedly represents your integrity, earning power, and management skills. Think about the questionable value of the credit score. Whenever you repay a loan in full, your credit score takes a dive. Credit scores don't reflect integrity. The highest credit scores are awarded to spenders who maintain high debt and make minimum payments. The same goes for credit cards. Spenders get increases in credit limit. Those who pay off credit card balances every month don't. Any crisis, an economic crisis, loss of income, or a health crisis can destroy your elaborate finances and cause you irreparable losses. Why? Because we depend on the financial system in every aspect of life. We don't own things we consider ours. In the financial crisis of 2008, millions lost their homes. Homes, not houses, because the houses were not yet paid off. And this is how our fake self-worth is created. Few of us own things outright. We are being made to believe that our wealth grows, while in fact our debts do. To make this reality more appealing, we get social rewards and fake prestige. Being a homeowner comes with a social rank, as does business ownership. Driving an expensive vehicle or flashing esteemed credit cards makes us more respectable. Something doesn't add up. When did high debt become a badge of honor? To measure up today, we have to owe, not own. In other words, we have to partake in the game of pretending to own, while making payments to own at some point in the future. Without the many parallel loans and fake credit scores, you are worthless in the eyes of society. That's an upside-down value system. We not only don't own, we are being owned. We are slaves to things we can't afford, our loans and credit cards. Fake self-worth may include a nice house, car, exotic vacations, and fancy clothes you didn't pay for yet. Until then, you don't own, you are being owned. Once we are in deep, we consented to being screws in a system, relinquished personal freedom, and accepted defeat. Here is fake reality, fake timelines, fake values, and fake self-worth for you. And that's, by popular standards, the current definition of success. A nice house, fine car, exotic vacations, fancy clothes, and good credit cards. All of which keep you hostage. None of the goods you pretend to own represents your true worth. Not even your credit score represents your worth truthfully. A credit score may reflect a health crisis or family background rather than your personal accomplishments. Your actual self-worth is your health, your integrity, your knowledge, your diligence, your grit and perseverance, self-reliance, self-confidence, your network. Know your worth. Know the difference between what you are getting and what you deserve. Give it a thought. We are trapped in Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tale, The Emperor's New Clothes. Our voluntary vulnerability is scary. Throughout life, we find ourselves occasionally cut to size, pressured to conform, and restricted. Sometimes we feel like square pegs in round holes. Perhaps that's why many of us dream of owning an uninhabited island to escape to be alone on, to run naked along its shores. Stop! It's not about the uninhabited island you can't afford. Don't believe that you are chasing an unattainable dream. You are that island. You can be it. You can create it. You can live in paradise. You are that island you are dreaming of. Don't let outside forces, powered by one agenda or another, fool you, undermine your self-image, or reduce your value. No one can slap a price tag on your individuality. The world is what it is. Still, there is space within the overwhelming world to create a life on your terms.